I'm out here sitting in front of the beautiful Midwestern University library out here in Glendale, Arizona. I just thought I'd share a couple experiences that I've had in my first couple of weeks here in optometry school and um, kind of provide some insight for people that might want to go to optometry school or people that maybe want to change their minds. Anyways, um, kind of starting out, I moved to the on-campus apartments here, um, and it's excellent. Minutes away from class, I can pretty much roll out of bed and be in class in no time. Um, so we moved in right before orientation week, and orientation week for us was about 3 days. The first day was kind of a whole university gathering where we kind of learned all the services that Midwestern provides. Um, and also, we got to meet a lot of different professional students as well. Midwestern University is composed of a lot of different healthcare professional students. We have vet students, dental, optometry, DO students, cardiovascular, pulmonary um, masters, and a couple others, podiatry as well. So that was pretty cool. The first day we got to meet a lot of people. The second and third days were kind of more our program based, and so we got to learn about the different classes that we take as optometry students, what the first through 4 years looks like, and it was also kind of a space to meet more people. And so I thought that was pretty neat to kind of get into that groove, kind of like slowly meet friends and kind of get settled before class started. So I thought that was pretty neat. So this is my third uh, week in past orientation week. I'm currently taking 22 and a half credits right now, which it's quite a bit, as you probably would probably think of. But I'm in a couple classes. Most of them are pretty tough and time consuming. Um, I'm in a class called Basic Sciences, which is a class that kind of surveys everything you learned in undergrad in the first couple weeks, and then you kind of get into more difficult things. But in that class, we have about 12 hours of lecture a week and one test a week, so it's go time. But you definitely learn how to balance and study efficiently for that class. I'm also in another class called Optics, which is kind of like a class that involves physics and steroids. So yeah, we're learning all about lasers and lenses and how light bends, which is really interesting and practical to know as a future optometrist. Um, we also have another class called Methods, which is clinic practice. Um, we really learn how to do like visual acuities, conduct an initial case history, like what brings you in. You kind of ask questions about their family history for the patient, a lot of just practical um, techniques to get an eye exam started. And then also we have a lot of different interspersed classes. We have an interprofessional healthcare class where we talk and mingle with other healthcare professional students, and also an ethics class, which teaches you how to be responsible and inclusive and fair to each and every patient, which is pretty interesting. I didn't really know how much of a responsibility that would be as a doctor, but you really kind of learn the importances of that. So let me grab my little paper here. Kind of dropped it, but let's see. Yeah, a couple of good habits to get into, I'd say, um, is to get organized because you get here and time is precious. And if you want any kind of a social life or personal time, you're going to have to learn how to manage your time well and um, study efficiently. And I'd say that undergrad didn't really teach me all that well. I learned kind of towards the end how to, pick out important pieces of information for lectures. But I think when it comes to as a professional student, especially here in optometry school at Midwestern, is that professors will give you way too much information for you to handle. And it's impossible to memorize all of it like you usually do in undergrad. So you really learn the importance of picking out what's important and then learning it well enough to apply to different situations. Because as a doctor, you're going to have to do that. Patients are going to come in and they're going to throw too much information at you. Most of it's not going to be important, and it's up to you to find out what the important information is. Um, and it's kind of tough right now because I'm still trying to figure that out, but it's something that's going to pay off huge down the road. Um, let's see. And one of the number one concern for me, I'd say, when I came here was if I'd have time for hobbies, friendships, relationships, anything like that. And because the perception before you come to any type of professional school, medical school, anything, is that you kind of say goodbye to your life for a while. And in some senses, that's true. It's not all black and white though, because depending on the day, depending on what your class week looks like. If you don't have a lot of tests going on, then yeah, you have time for friendships. For me, I like to lift and play sports, and yeah, so it depends on how much you have going on. It's not like you turn into a robot and study 24/7. You find time, and you have to make the time for it. So a typical day for me, I'd say, is that I usually have class, and this is pretty interesting too. Um, Here at Midwestern, we have almost a different type of schedule every week, and almost every day is different. Um, so, like on Mondays, we usually have optics lecture and lab, so that's probably an 8 to 1 o'clock day. Then Tuesday through Thursday, we have our basic sciences, that BASI class, and that's usually from anywhere from 9 to either 2 or 3 on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then Fridays we have our methods class, which is practicing in clinic, not actually seeing patients, but practicing methods on each other. And so that day usually starts at about 8 in the morning, and you get out at about 4 o'clock. So Fridays are pretty long. Um, but like I said, it's all different, and uh, you have time to do things that you'd like to do if you put the effort into it and you be proactive about it. Usually, what's helpful for me is, before I go to bed each night, I kind of think about, okay, what does tomorrow look like? Am I going to have time to lift? Am I going to have time to hang out with friends? And most of the time is yes, as of right now. Here at Midwestern, I guess from what I hear is that the first year is kind of yeah, it's difficult and heavy, but it's not anywhere close to second year. So, and I think that might be true for a lot of different schools, but I couldn't say for sure. Um, but I guess the first year is trying to um, figure out your time and to have fun along the way. So something that I wish I knew before I came to optometry school, I would say, is that there's more to life than just being an optometrist. I thought that coming to school was like the start to the end of my life because I'd always be in school and then working right after that. But we have this business class actually that's really helpful, and our professor she talks about how she used optometry school as kind of like a stepping stone to what she really wanted to do. You can do so many things. It really is up to you. What do you want out of life? And optometry is not just conducting eye exams. You can do a lot more with that. So for me, I don't really know what that looks like. I know I want to hone my skills in now, especially when I get out, practice, so I feel comfortable about doing eye exams, and then kind of go from there um, where I want to go. So those are some kind of insights that I'd like to share with you all. I know everybody's experience is a little bit different, but I thought that coming into school was a very important and kind of stressful time in my life, and so I wanted to give that back and help other people out. So I'm going to show you guys a little tour of the university, show you the library, the basketball courts, the gym, and kind of just show you Arizona's Midwestern University. There we go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go ahead and leave a comment or a question. I'm always happy to answer questions and to help people out to where they want to go. And we'll see you next time.